नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले मते भक्ति वेदान्त स्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्देशतारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद अद्वैता गदाधर शिवसने गौरा भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्णा
Krishna 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 Hare
हरे राम हरे नित्य गौर हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद। नाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनेति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्देशतारिणी वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिसे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्ण भक्तरूप स्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताक्षं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरे वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So thank you very much for joining our Kathāmṛtam session, where we are releasing the nectar that is given by our acharyas in a profused way. So it's really up to us how far we can drink and how far we can digest. And the Lord's mercy is unlimited. Lord's compassion is unlimited. Lord's pastimes are unlimited. Lord's devotees are unlimited. They are just there and to shower their mercy upon all of us, so that we can release more and more these beautiful pastimes of the Lord. So we have been discussing from this book, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is nothing but the summary study of 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, written by Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya. And we concluded the preface, and we are in the introduction stage, where in the introduction we discussed how Srila Prabhupada is offering his obeisances to the Guru Parampara, because whatever we do, we have to first seek the blessings of our Purva Acharyas, the previous Acharyas, because they are showing us the path where to go, and they are giving also the strength, to walk on this path. Without their direction, without their strength that they give it to us, we neither we know where to go, nor we have strength and to go in that direction. And then we discussed specially about our Parampara, Brahma Madhya Gaudiya Sampradaya. We talked about Mahaprabhu's teachings, the 5 things. And then we discussed last time how Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, Sarva Karana Karanam. And we discussed at a very high level how Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, how he is the original personality of Godhead, how he is the source of all incarnations. And we also discussed how his abode is also Chintamani Dham. Vrindavana Ramya Sthana Divya Chintamani Dham. Like this abode of Vrindavan is really the Chintamani Dham, where every dust particle is a Chintamani. All the trees are like Kalpa Vriksha trees, and Lord is there tending the cows who are like Surabhis. And there, Lakshmi Sahasra Sapasambrama Sedyamanam, where thousands and thousands of goddess of fortune serving so sincerely to the Supreme Lord Krishna in various ways, so that just they get a glance from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we also discussed in detail about different types of Vrindavan that we can really perceive, how like there's a Vrindavan, like there is a Golok Vrindavan that is there in the spiritual world. And then we discussed there is on the Bhoma Vrindavan, the Vrindavan that was manifested during Lord's manifestation during his Prakat Leela. Then also we discussed how Lord appears in his during that time, whenever he's there with that beautiful Govardhan or Yamuna or like the different forests, how they are only purpose is to serve Krishna as a form of Vrindavan. And then we also talked about Drishyaman Vrindavan, and that we see at this point of time once we go to Vrindavan, which is not very far from daily. Of course, once you go there, because the Lord covers his abode through his potency. Sometimes we see only maybe some dust or some sewers or some pigs or monkeys or so many things. Like our glass, like sometimes we wear specs and spec is covered with dust because of our agyan, because of our andhakar. The true manifestation of the abode does not manifest to us. But then once we go in the association of the devotees, and then we can hear, we can see the abode through the ears. That's called Shruti Pantha, Shruti Chakshu. Like, we can hear from the Sastra Chakshu, from the Banis of the Sangas, from the devotees. And then once we hear that, not only we can really feel the presence of Vrindavan at that point of time, but then we can also feel the presence of Vrindavan in our heart. And that's called Hrudiyastha Vrindavan. Monamara Vrindavan, that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always says. How we can make our heart a purified place, so that Lord loves to reside, and we can hear the vibration, the guidance, the intelligence that is coming from Paramatma. Because otherwise, yes, Lord is giving his direction. Lord is there because he is saying, Hrudayantastahi avhadrani. Yes, Lord is there, but we are not able to perceive the presence of the Lord in our heart. And then also we talked about how Gupta Vrindavan, how Srila Prabhupada and his disciples, and earlier Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, they have developed some areas like maybe either in Mayapur or in Puri, or we talked about in USA. Now Srila Prabhupada has created new Vrindavan. So how, because wherever the devotee is there, he carries the Vrindavan, he carries Lord in his heart. It is said that how Srila Prabhupada, he came from Golok Vrindavan to this Bhoma Vrindavan. And then from this Vrindavan, he went to all over the world to establish Vrindavan in different countries, different cities, and different hearts. And then once again, he came back to Vrindavan, this Bhoma Vrindavan. And then he left once again to Golok Vrindavan. Because Srila Prabhupada, though he was in Los Angeles, he was saying that, I'm in Vrindavan. Wherever he is, or like Prabhupada says, all his centers are Vrindavan. And that's why wherever there's a discussion happening of Krishna and his pastimes, and that place is transformed to Vrindavan. So we discussed this Vrindavan concept. And then what else we discussed last time? Anybody remembers? We also discussed about Yadu dynasty. How we talked about there are basically two dynasties. One is called Yadu Vamsa, Surya Vamsa, another is a Chandra Vamsa. That Surya Vamsa, like all these Swayambhuva Manu, then like that all comes there, or like Surya Vamsa is the Lord Ramachandras, the Maryada Purushottam, Lord Ram's dynasty, and then the Chandra Vamsa, where this Yadu dynasty or Vishnu dynasty, where this Supreme Lord Krishna has appeared. And then we went further because that's what it is described in the 9th canto, 24th chapter, and that's just before the 10th canto. And towards the end of this 24th chapter of the 9th canto, and Sukadeva Goswami, he gives a glimpse of Krishna's appearance and his beauty and his pastimes. So we discussed what is the reason for appearance of the Lord. Why Lord appears? Why Lord appears? Usually we hear in Bhagavad Gita also the same verse. 3 reasons. Externally we can say 3 reasons. What are 3 reasons? Paritranaya sadhuna vinasaya chuduskritam. Yes, he wants to take care of his devotees. He wants to and annihilate the demons, and then establish the religious principles. These are the three external reasons or the causes that Lord appears. Our acharyas are saying that, and specifically we saw subsequently in those verses in the 24th chapter, the primary cause or the internal cause of Lord's appearance is what? So that he wants to perform these beautiful pastimes, to invoke attraction for him. So he wants to create this beautiful pastimes, so that once somebody hears these pastimes, they develop attraction towards him. Just to develop attraction, he comes in this human form. Especially this Sudhir Goswami, once again, later in the 10th canto, 33rd chapter, he says very beautifully, Anugrahaya bhaktanam manusyam dehamastita bhajate tadrusi kida yasrutva tat paro bhavet. Anugrahaya bhaktanam, to savor his anugraha, his mercy, and for his devotees, for all the living entities. He takes the manusyam dehamastita. He takes this human form. And then bhajate tadrusi kida. Once again, we hear these pastimes of the Supreme Lord, and then we get more and more dedicated to him. So yes, and like we were discussing last time, once we understand, once we hear this attractive form of the Supreme Lord, attractive qualities of the Supreme Lord, attractive pastimes of the Supreme Lord, then our attention goes there. And once our attention goes there, then we develop attachment. Then we develop absorption for the Supreme Lord. Then we develop affection for the Supreme Lord. Yes, and because that is the objective of our life. That is the purpose of our life. Somehow or other, we have forgotten that we are part and parcel of that Supreme Lord. But somehow or other, we have forgotten. And Lord comes, or devotees comes, just to remind us that yes, please remember this beautiful kingdom of Gokul Vrindavan, and how Lord performed these beautiful pastimes. So then why, how this Lord's appearance is different? We also discussed very briefly about it. How Lord's appearance is different as compared to our humanly pastimes or humanly birth. Because once you talk about Lord's birth, we don't say usually Lord's birth, because Lord's appearance. Because whenever Lord appears, he does not by forcefully, by the modes of nature, by karmic principle, or by the force of karma, he takes birth in a certain place, or he chooses, like he comes of a certain parent in a certain circumstances. It's not that, but for us, it's like the karmana deva netrena deha upapate. Like, because of our karma, and because of the arrangement of the Supreme Lord, we really appear in a place for us, of a certain parent in a specific situation. There's a rich or poor, like last time in our Bhakti Recitations, I think that was a very interesting topic that we talked about, right? How, right, a jiva carries whatever we do from the lifetime to lifetime. So, but for the Lord, he's in Atma Maya. He appears with his own potential, with his own sweet will. And another beautiful difference is that whenever a child comes to this material world, both mother and the child, they cry. Definitely they go through the painful process. Definitely all mother, or even the parents also, the father also can see, when mother is going through the pain or the baby comes out, right? Even if it's a surgery, even if the child doesn't cry, then they give a slap so that child cries. So the process is really so that if you come to this material world, you have to cry because this is a place of Dukhalayam, right, where everybody has to suffer. But when Lord appears, we'll discuss how sweet, how there is a celebration, how there is even like Devaki and Vasudev, they were in that jail. When they saw Krishna, they were so blissful. Or when Lord came, he came in a so wonderful Chaturabhuja form. Not that, oh, I have, why I appeared here. And then, most importantly, also, as we discussed, this is all Lord does, right, for developing love for his dear devotees. That's how we can really see. So now moving forward, we discussed that yes, Lord does everything, right? Not only for the living beings of that particular time, that particular place or circumstances, but then he carries it even for the future generations or future yugas as well, and especially for the Kali Yuga Vasis as well. And how Kali Yuga Vasis? We discussed that how even the Kali Yuga people who have been suffering so much because of this dukkha, soka, because of this unhappiness and the ignorance that they really go through it, they can also get benefited. They can also get benefited when they hear this beautiful pastimes of the Lord. And we just discussed a little bit on this part. Actually, some of you might remember, because this is very important. I will just try to repeat once again that how Kalojanisya mananam dukkha soka tamanyudam anugrahaya bhaktanam supunyam vyatanad yasa. To show the causeless mercy to the people who take birth in future. How you see, especially a father or a grandfather, he not only thinks of the right, how can I really enjoy, but then he takes care of that, how my legacy for the future generations. But here Lord one comes, he not only talks about next generation or next to next generation, he talks about the next yugas and the yugas and the for the millenniums and millenniums, how just by hearing these beautiful pastimes of the Lord, they can get benefited, and how merciful the Lord is, and how grateful we should be, and how we should relish those jewels that has been really given by the Supreme Lord and our acharyas. And here, because by doing that, yes, this place is Dukhalayam, but who takes this process, Vishwam Purnam Sukhayate, once you take this process, then this same place can really become a wonderful, peaceful, blissful place. Because then he can be freed from the lamentation, unhappiness, and all the tama and dukkha, soka, and everything. That's how the formula that Lord has given to us, that yes, during this difficult and most miserable time also, and I take this process, take this medicine, and you can really be happy. And then very beautifully he is saying that how to accept it. How can you really accept this medicine? This medicine is some blue sap or some syrup that we have to take in the mouth. Sukdev Goswami is saying, Yasmin satkarna piyuse yasas tirthe varasakrut srotanjali upasprusya dhunate karma vasanam. Very beautiful he is saying. How we have to take this medicine? Through srotanjali. Through srotanjali. We say puspanjali. We offer puspa in our anjali. We have to take this medicine through our ears. And somebody might say, oh, this medicine that you are talking about, is it bitter? No, it is amrita. That's what we call our program, Kathāmṛtam. It's a piyusa. It is really amrita. Yes, by simply receiving the glories of the Lord through the purified transcendental ears, the devotees of the Lord are immediately freed from karma vasanam. What is that karma vasana? The strong material desires and engagement in fruitive activities, so that we can be free from our desires, and also all the karmic activities that we might have performed for the millions of lifetimes earlier. Will be free. Karmani nirdahati kintucha bhakti bhajam. So yes, we might have done so many nonsense activities, but then the new our process starts and everything gets removed, everything gets washed away, whatever the sinful activities or whatever the fruitive activities that we might have done earlier. And then not only he talks about that how everybody gets benefited, then he start giving a glimpse of Lord's pastimes now. What he says, assisted by the descendants of Bhoja, like all the Yudhi dynasties, Bhoja, Brusni, Andhaka, Madhu, Surasena, Dasahara, Kurush, Srinjaya, and Pandu, Lord Krishna performed various activities, and by his pleasing smiles, his affectionate behavior, his instructions, and his uncommon pastimes, like raising Govardhan Hill, the Lord appearing in his transcendental body, pleased all of human society. So how here Sudhir Goswami is saying that yes, Lord does not want to come alone. He wants to perform all his activities, through his associates, through his devotees, and that's why we like usually we don't worship the Supreme Lord only Krishna form. We worship always, with his associates, with Radharani, with Ashtasakhis, with the peacock, with the cows, because Lord loves to be with his associates. He doesn't want to be alone. And here, what are we saying? He comes along with all the associates, and then he performs these beautiful pastimes. And then, with his pleasing smiles, just through one smile, right, he could really transform the envious characters of even the demons, or through his affectionate behavior, the way right he would treat even like how even the Rajasuya Yajna, he was taking the position of a washing the feet of all the guests, or through his wonderful instructions in Bhagavad Gita, or through his uncommon pastimes of killing Putana while in a baby, or just raising Govardhan Hill, or dancing on Kaliya. Forget about, right, like it's inconceivable for us, right? How can Lord dance on Kaliya, the snake? Can anybody imagine, right? Like in a plain surface also, to dance it is difficult, like so wonderfully, right? And then if it is slippery, and then also it's not in a constant position, right? But Lord was not thinking that, oh, okay, should I put a first step here or there, or what should I put? Because his hoods are really going just all around. But while playing the flute, he was so transcendental and he was so blissful, exchanging the beautiful glances with his devotees, the Gopas and Gopis, all the devatas. They were thinking that, okay, what dance Lord is performing, what how Lord is playing the flute. They try to match all the Gandharvas, how the Lord was dancing, but then said, okay, let's forget, we cannot match the Supreme Lord, because Gandharvas, everybody, they were trying, can we also dance with the Lord? And after trying for some time, they said, no, it's not possible for us. And then left it, it's better, let's watch the way wonderfully the Lord is performing so many wonderful pastimes. And then there is this beautiful verse. Lord Sukadeva Goswami talks about the beautiful form of the Supreme Lord. Yasyananam makara kundala charu karna Brajat kapola subhaga savilasa hasam Nityat savanat tribudusibhi pivantyo Narya nara samudita kupita nimescha. He's saying, Yasyananam makara kundala charu karna. Yasyananam, his beautiful face. Yasyananam makara kundala. He's having a earrings like the socks. Charu karna. He's having beautiful ears. Brajat kapalo. His forehead is beautifully decorated. And sabilasa hasam. Like especially the devotees. they really get so much attracted, enchanted by the hasam, by the smiling glance. And is it that they do once in a while? No, it's called Nityotsava. Every day, every moment, they release this pastime. That's called Nityotsava. Every day, once you think, for us, like once in a year festival, Janmashtami, or once in a year festival, Rath Yatra. For the devotees, every moment is a festival, because they seeing the beautiful form of the Lord. That's why especially in Puri and Jagannath Dham, and they call Netrotsava, because after that pastime where Lord takes rest for some time, after that Devasnan Purnima, right? Lord comes in once again his form. All the devotees would be so much in separation, and once again, once they see the Lord through their eyes, and there's a feast for the eyes, feast for the all the so dry eyes, because it was so feeling so much separation from seeing the beautiful form of the Lord, because this objective of the eyes, the goal of the eyes, is to really see to the beautiful eyes of the beautiful form of the Supreme Lord. And na tutrupur, they're not satisfied. Drusibhi pibantya. And we heard of like that, karna piyusa aswadya, okay, we'll take this beauty, this nectar through the years, and now they are drinking through ice. Drusavi pivante. You see how devotees are. Not only they drink this beautiful prasadam through the mouth, they drink the beautiful pastimes through the years, and now drusavi pivantya. They are drinking the beauty of the Lord through the eyes. But then they are really unhappy with one thing, and they are really chastising, scolding one person now. To whom? The creator. Who is the creator? Brahma. Oh, Brahma, you're so stupid person. Why? Brahma started thinking, why you are telling me stupid? Everybody says that, I am Brahma, I am the first, I'm the creator, I have 4 heads. All right. And you're calling me stupid, whole my body is full of intelligence, and you're calling me stupid. Yes, you are stupid. Why? Gopis are saying, Narya narascha mudita kupita nimish. Why you have created this eyelid? Because it is always blinking, and because of that blinking, we're kind of separating, seeing the form of the Lord for that moment. Because we would have been very happy if the eyelids were not there, and we would be constantly watching, constantly relishing and drinking the beautiful form of the Lord. Oh Lord, in your software, in the product that you have created, it is having the most dangerous bug that you have created. You see the love of the devotees. And for us, yes, Lord also appears. We always hear that Lord is not different than his holy name. And whenever the Lord's holy name gets chanted, you say that Lord is appearing in our tongue. Lord is appearing in front of us, but then our eyes gets blinked. Right? And especially if you early wake up and we chant early in the morning, if you are alone, I think, okay, maybe it's a time for me to sleep. Right? We are not able to realize the beauty of the Lord, the beauty of the holy name. And that's how we can really understand where are we and what is the stage of the gopis. It's not easy. People talk so cheaply about the gopis, but so much of love and devotion they have for Krishna. And how unfortunate we are that we are not able to relish. Though yes, we talked so many beautiful forms of the Lord, and our hearts are so dry. Like for us, if somebody says that, oh, you look so handsome, you look so beautiful, we kind of put our ears. Oh, hey, tell me again, tell me more about it. Because we are so self-centric. We want to be praised. We want to keep ourselves in the center. But for the devotees of the Lord, like gopis, how they are showing through example, no, they don't have any interest even decorating themselves. They want to keep Lord Krishna happy, and to keep Lord Krishna happy, they come in a beautiful way. Their pleasure is in Krishna's pleasure. And similarly, once you are really talking about Ramya Kayachit Upasana Brajabaradhu Bargenaya Kalpita. Yes, the examples that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, like in the path of the gopis, the path of the Brajavasis, because everything they were doing for Krishna's pleasure. That's what we call Krishna conscious movement. You have to keep Krishna in the center. The satisfaction of Krishna, once it is there, then everything is taken care. Because once we understand the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Father, right? Definitely, right? We will have a so blissful relationship with all our siblings, because we don't know what is the center, we don't know what is the objective. There is so much of fighting, there is so much of morals, there is so much because we don't have that higher taste, we don't have a higher goal. There is so much of vacuum in our heart. And that's what we can realize. Where are we? Continuing, not only Sukadeva Goswami gives a glimpse of the beautiful form of the Lord, and then he talks about some of the pastimes. What he says? The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, known as Leela Purushottama, appeared as the son of Vasudeva, but immediately left his father's home and went to Vrindavan to expand his loving relationship with his confidential devotees. In Vrindavan, the Lord killed many demons, and afterwards he returned to Dwarka, where according to Vedic principles, he married many wives who were the best of women, begot through them hundreds of sons, and performed sacrifices for his own worship to establish the principles of householder life. So very in a sutra form, here Sukadeva Goswami saying that how yes, Lord appeared in Mathura, and then he left his parents. He left his parents, and then he came back. He came to Vrindavan. Once he came to Vrindavan, he killed all the demons, and then he went once again back to Mathura. And then he went back to Dwarka, and then he married so many wives, and once again he performed all these activities in an exemplary way so that others can follow. And then he established how to perform the deity worship of the Lord, how a householder life has to be properly followed, and that's how, right? Like Lord performed his pastimes in so wonderful ways. And then what he did after some point of time, yes, he created arrangement. Thereafter, Lord created a misunderstanding between family members just to diminish the burden of the world. Simply by his glance, he annihilated all the demoniac kings on the field of Kurukshetra and declared victory for Arjuna. Finally, he instructed Uddhava about transcendental life and devotion, and then returned to his abode in his original form. So how? Once again, yes, there was the Kurukshetra war, there was a fighting, and then yes, Pandava's own, like especially his dear friend Arjuna was victorious, right? And towards the end, like he performed he once again told the Gita, it's called Uddhava Gita, right, to his dear friend Uddhava before he left once again to the spiritual abode. And that's how Sukadeva Goswami summarizes all Krishna's pastime in 2 verses. Because Sukadeva Goswami was thinking that, yes, Parikshit Maharaj, yes, he has been fasting. Currently, he's on the, like you can say, end of the 4th day. He's not drinking, he's not eating anything. And then, yes, let's wrap up this Bhagavad Katha as quickly as possible so that he can take rest now. But then, what is the mood of Parikshit Maharaj? You want to hear? How many would like to hear? He says, okay, this is a Krishna's pastime, Kathāmṛtam. And in 2 verses, all the pastimes are said, narrated beautifully. What is the reaction of Parikshit Maharaj after that? That's what we go to the 10th canto. In the 10th canto, like especially this Bhagavatam is also considered as a form of the Lord. We discuss Krishna Tulya Bhagavata. Krishna and Bhagavatam, they are non-different. This Bhagavatam, like as we said, 12 cantos are there, right? Then the 1st and 2nd canto, they are considered 2 lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. And 3rd and 4th considered 2 thighs of the Supreme Lord. And 5th is like navel, 6th is like chest, and 7 and 8 considered the 2 arms of the Supreme Lord. 9th is like throat, and 10th is the lotus face of the Supreme Lord. So now, right, because especially once you go to the deity darshan as well, wherever you go to Tirupati or any ISKCON temple or wherever we go, Prabhupada says that first we should start the darshan not directly to the lotus face. We should start from the lotus feet of the Lord, and then slowly we should go up. Because we don't otherwise familiarity breeds contempt. We don't have that bhav to appreciate the Lord directly the face. Ideally, yes, we should go first canto, second canto, third canto, fourth canto, fifth canto, sixth canto, seventh, eighth, ninth. Then only ideally we should reach the 10th canto of the Supreme Lord. Isn't our impudent and arrogance to directly jump into 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam? But we are following what Srila Prabhupada has given. We're just releasing the Krishna book, where Prabhupada has given like in summary, so that everybody can read and release the pastime. At the same time, we should also remember always, that's the reason we are extending our introduction a little bit, and Prabhupada also has given that introduction, so that we really understand the supremacy of the Lord, the greatness of the Lord, the greatness of the abode. Then only we can understand the sweetness of the Lord. Without understanding, we call it Jagannath, we cannot understand Gopinath. Jagannath means he is the Lord of the universe. We are not saying he's a Odiyanath only, right? Okay, he's a Jagannath, he's Lord of the universe. Once you understand how grand, how Jagannath, even the English word Jagannath, right, comes from right, Lord Jagannath. So how a devotee, he really, submerged, and he really understands the like last time we discussed. First, we understand the definition of the Lord, then we focus on the narration, the depiction of the Supreme Lord. First definition, then the depiction. So here, now we really going towards the lotus face of the Supreme Lord in the 10th canto, and there, what is happening? Let's go, because in the 10th canto, this is the biggest volume, you can say, right? Like out of the 335 chapters in Srimad Bhagavatam, 90 chapters, right? 90 chapters are there. You can see the 90 chapters are there in the 10th canto. And similarly, we'll find 90 chapters are there in Krishna book. And here, this is the first chapter of Krishna book, first chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto. And here we can really understand, okay, just once again, a very high level, what is the structure of this first chapter of this 10th canto, what exactly is mentioned. It starts with Parikshit Maharaj shows his eagerness to hear from Sukadeva Goswami Lord Krishna's pastime in detail. He said, Bistara, please speak me in detail. I'm not happy, that you spoke Krishna's pastime in 2 verses. I want to hear in detail. And then Sukadeva Goswami, he glorifies Parikshit Maharaj about the different questions Parikshit Maharaj is asking, and about his attitude to hear, his eagerness to hear. And then he starts the pastime. How Mother Earth, she was going through so much of trouble by all the demons, tortured by so many demons. And then this Mother Earth, in the form of a cow, approached Brahma, and Brahma, along with all the devatas, they went to this Svetadipa, right? And then they prayed to Lord Vishnu in the form of Purusha Sukta prayers. And then Lord appears and tells Brahma that yes, and I'll soon appear, and please go ahead and all of you also appear to assist in my all the pastimes that I would be doing. And then the scene changes to Mathura. And Mathura, what is happening there? There's a marriage ceremony happening. Marriage ceremony of whom? Devaki and Vasudeva. and this wonderful marriage ceremony is happening. And then there is this brother of Devaki, who is Kamsa. And Kamsa, yes, he was a cruel fellow, but sometimes he wants to show his sweet nature, so-called sweet nature, to everybody, and he wanted to do that by being a charioteer of his sister's procession that is going towards her husband's place. So in that chariot, yes, there was this Devaki and Vasudev, and they were there, and he got that Akasavani. In that Akasavani, it was told that yes, the 8th child of Devaki, will be your death. It will be the cause of your death. And once he heard that, he just brought out his sword and was about to slash the head of his sister. And then Vasudev, he used different processes, Samdam, he was trying to create so many ways that how can I really pacify Kamsa, at least for some time I can delay this, and then he come up with this wonderful idea that yes, I'll offer you all the children so that you can kill them as soon as they're born. And then this is all happening in the first chapter, and then once they go, right, how the first child burns out of Vasudeva and Devaki, and Vasudeva offers it to Kamsa. Yes, he was feeling little happy that, oh, how Vasudeva is doing whatever he has said, but then he was told by Narad Muni, no, like in a lotus petal, right, which one is the first one or which one is 8th, can you count it? And then he realized, oh, the devatas, we cannot trust anybody, right? Maybe this could be also the 8th. Then he started even killing the first one also, and then he started killing the 6 children of Devaki. So that's how the atrocities of Kamsa starts. So this is all about once again the first chapter of this Krishna book, or 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So yes, like Krishna willing, with the devotees, all of your eagerness, we can discuss in detail about how Parikshit Maharaj brings out his eagerness, how he feels so grateful for the Supreme Lord, and how he wants to hear this Krishna's pastime. Okay, let's go here now. Okay, so here King Parikshit is saying, Raja Ovacha is the Raja. He is saying, Kathito Vamsa Vistara Bhavata Somasuryaha Ragyam Chobhaya Vamsyanam Charitam Paramadhutam. He's saying that, oh my dear Lord, like he's addressing Sukadeva Goswami. Yes, you have described, Bhavata Soma Suryaha. You talked about Soma Vamsa, like, first, of course, Treta Yuga, first, this one appeared, right? Like Surya Vamsa. Then, right, Soma Vamsa, right? You can say. But then because he's so attracted to Lord Krishna, that's how he really brings as well Soma Vamsa first. Right? Because he is somehow attached and, to the Soma Vamsa or Yadu Vamsa, right? Bhavata Sama Suryaha. Ragyam Chobhaya Vamsyam. You talked so much in detail about their dynasties, and these are all wonderful. Parama Adbhutam. There's all these pastimes. And then in the next verse, he's saying that how Yaduscha Dharma Silasya. Yes, you have described in so much in detail about this Yadu Vamsa. Nitara Muni Sattama. You are Muni Sattama. You are the best of the Munis. You are the king of the Munis, O Sukadeva Goswami. And Tatra Amsena Avatirnasya Vishnur Viryani Samsanaha. Yes, please now describe in detail about Krishna. Whose Amsa is Lord Vishnu. And our Acharyas are also saying that who can describe all the pastimes of the Supreme Lord? Is it anytime possible? Because even Ananta says, who has been glorifying the Supreme Lord for immemorial, time immemorial, he's not able to complete this. Do you know what is Ananta? What is the definition of Ananta? Ananta means no anta, right? Can anybody describe completely the glories of the Supreme Lord? Can anybody describe all the qualities of the Supreme Lord? Is it possible? Especially, there is a nice word,
No.
which describes that Yovanantasya gunananantan anukramisyan satubala buddhi rajamsi bhumer ganayat kathanchit kalena naiva khila sakti dhamna. Oh my friends, right? Like if you think that at any point of time it is possible to narrate all the qualities of the all the Supreme Lord, then you are considered the Bala Buddhi. Why you are considered Bala Buddhi? You are childish because a person can count all the dust of this earthly planet. Rajamsi Bhumir Ganayet Kathachit. Somehow or other, if you can count even all the dust particles of this earthly planet, but Kalina Naiva Khilasakti Dhamna, you cannot completely describe the beautiful pastimes of the Lord. And that's why he's called Ananta. Yova Anantasya Gunan Anantan. That's why Lord's qualities are Ananta. That's why here Parikshit Maharaj is saying that, and just tell me a little bit more. Definitely we cannot describe completely all the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. So here and then how beautifully he performed his pastimes along with his brother Balaram. And then in the next verse he is saying that okay, let me the next verse he is saying Avatirya yadurvamse Bhagavan bhuta bhavana kritavan yani viswatma tani na vada vistarat. What is he saying? Now tell me in vistar, tell me in detail. What? How? Yes, how the Lord appeared in Yaduvamsa. How Lord, he performed so many beautiful pastimes. Yes, the super soul who is there in the super personality of God, Sri Krishna, the cause of cosmic manifestation, appeared in the dynasty of Yadu. Please tell me elaborately about his glorious activities and character from the beginning to the his final pastimes. So devotee, once again, as we said, he's not happy with just a little bit sutras. Because he's not, like you might describe it in sutras, but my intelligence is not so great. I cannot understand these complicated formulas. Please, explain me in detail. And another way also, like Lord has performed this beautiful pastime, as we said, for all our pleasure. And so this, like you go to some big party, right? And there's so many, like hundreds of desserts and hundreds of fried items, tens of chapatis and parathas, and so many rice items, and so many sabjis of Oriental, Eastern, Western, and everything. And then would you really go and take only? No, I'll be happy only with curd rice. No, you would really like to taste everything, right? So here Lord is performing his pastime in a so wonderful way, and then devotee is not happy just with the curd rice. He wants to hear all the pastimes in detail. And he's in Bistar. That is the difference. Once again, between just a so-called casual hearer, right? Yes, some people also try to hear this Krishna's pastime, right, through some serial or through through some book or through here and there. But a devotee, he's not just happy by hearing in bits and pieces. A devotee means he wants to listen to this pastimes, hear this pastime, go through this pastime in detail as given by our acharyas. That is the difference. We have to show our interest of hearing this pastime by going through in detail. Okay, so let's go. Why Lord shares this pastime and how the devotee wants to share in detail. This is a very beautiful sloka we had sung earlier as well, just in the beginning of the Krishna book. Nibruta tarse rupagiyamanat bhavo satsrotra manobhirama kauttama sloka gunanuvada uman virajeta bina pasugna. Very beautiful verse. Here Parikshit Maharaj is saying that yes, this is upagiyamana, this is sung by Nibruta Tarse, who are free from all the material activities, who are muktas, who are liberated persons. And also this is being also heard and sung by the person who are going to be liberated. We call it a mumukshu or bhakti ichu or mukti ichu. Because by taking this medicine, what happens? Bhava ausadha. This is acts as a medicine for to come out of this bhavasagar. That's why it's called bhava ausadha. This is the perfect medicine to come out of this this material world. And then not only that, even for the people who want some masala, right, for the sense gratification, this is also manobhirama, because this medicine is, you might be thinking that it's a bitter. No, it's a manobhirama. That's so wonderful, so sweet. And this so manobhirama, this so sweet pastimes, this is not only for the muktas like Nibruta Tarse, who are already liberated, who have achieved the love of Godhead, not only for them, but also for the person who is going to be liberated, like sadhakas like us, right, who take this as a yes, we have to take this, because by taking this medicine we can be free from this bhavasagar. But also for the ordinary people as well, manobhirama, and all this, right, this Krishna Katha, who will not be interested to hear ko uttama sloka gunanavat? Who is that person, who will not hear this uttama sloka, the beautiful pastimes, beautiful verses which has been really describing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his wonderful qualities. Puman means it's not like man or woman or anybody, like everybody should be interested. Only person who is not really interested is Puman virajyate bina pasugna. Only a person who is really killing the cows, who is killing the animals, or who are just involved in animalistic lifestyle, only they will not have a test for Krishna Katha. Only them, they will not have test for Krishna Katha. So what Parikshit Maharaj is saying, glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is performed in the parampara system. That is, it is conveyed from the spiritual master to disciple. Such glorification is released by those no longer interested in the false temporary glorification of this cosmic manifestation. Descriptions of the Lord are the right medicine for the conditioned soul undergoing repeated birth and death. Therefore, who will cease hearing such glorification of the Lord except a butcher or one who is killing his own self? Atmaha, who is committing suicide, who is committing suicide, who is doing this pasugna. We'll discuss more in detail. That's how the next second part of this introduction is all about. Prabhupada is writing in that, that how this Krishna Katha is for everybody. It's really up to us how eagerness, how much willingness, how inquisitiveness we have to hear this Krishna Katha. Hare Krishna. Any questions or comments from anybody?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
The session was very good and informative. It was really very nice. And Prabhuji, I have 2 questions. Like, is there any specific reason why Lord Krishna appeared as the 8th one, like of Mata Devaki and Basudev? Like he could have come at the first, like as the first child or second child. Why? Is there any specific reason? And what is the reason of that Akashvani? Because due to that Akashvani, Devaki Mata and Vasudev, they had to go through so much pain. Yeah. So what is the reason for that?
Okay, so I'll not steal the thunder, right, what Lord is saying entirely in the first chapter, and I would only request that please stay tuned, and will describe in detail, right? Why Lord appeared as eighth child. Why exactly these 6 children had to be killed, right? We'll describe beautiful pastime on that, right? Who are they? Why they appeared, and why just they appeared and went away, right? And why even that Akasavani was there?
Yes.
Why is it that, like, Lord wanted Devaki to suffer? Why Lord created that pastime? And definitely we will answer it in our subsequent, maybe hopefully in the next couple of sessions. I would request that please hold on to your inquisitiveness.
Yeah, sure, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Definitely we'll discuss. Because
Prabhu.
just to give you a little bit, right? Maybe the essence is that Lord also wants to show that that He performs this pastime in a much more humane way, right? So a person has to go through the difficulties to really get the love of Godhead. Nothing you get just free of cost. Like you have to pay the price. And Lord creates these beautiful pastimes to create that excitement. Like even you heard of this Prahlad Maharaj pastime. The first time Hiranyakashipu, he tortured Prahlad, Lord Narasimhadev would have come and really delivered Prahlad Maharaj. Why? Prahlad Maharaj, he had to go through so many, tribulations, difficulties. Then it would not have been so exciting. This whole 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam talks about Prahlad Maharaj pastimes. And that's how, right? Like, they say that camphor is there, but the more you, churn it, crush it, the more flavor or the fragrance will come out of it. Isn't it?
Yes.
So similarly, Lord's devotees also goes through so much of tribulations, for their glorification. For the glorification of the devotees, right? Lord creates, this excitements. But for us, how do we consider it? Like we have to go through these purifications. We have to go through the tribulations for purification. Yes, maybe sometimes, it could be also for our glorification, that we don't know. But yes, we have to also go through these difficulties for our purifications. So without going through the tribulations, we cannot get the love of Godhead. We cannot get it in a so cheap way. Because we said, like the diamond. Yes, Mataji, please go ahead.
Yeah, like Prabhuji, like the conditioned soul, like all the conditioned souls like us, like me, or like we have to go through like the purification process.
Correct.
Then only we can come to the platform. Is that so?
Absolutely, Mataji, absolutely.
So all these are like our karmic reactions, whatever sufferings or.
Correct. But for the Lord or the devotees, like the pure devotees like Prahlad Maharaj or like here Devaki, because they are the eternal associates of the Lord, they don't suffer because of their karmic activities. They just go through it for glorification of the Supreme Lord, for the glorification of the bhakti. So that is the difference. And they go through the tribulations for the glorification of the process, for glorification of the Lord, glorification of the devotees. But we go through the difficulties for mostly for our purification.
Okay, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Thank you.
Anybody else? Any questions, comments?
Very wonderful class, Prabhu. I feel really bad that I missed a few of these sessions, not knowing what's so beautifully expressed. And once I get the recording, Prabhu, I do want to make sure that we are able to share it across our Bhakti Viksha groups, so that people who couldn't make it, they're able to still enjoy the nectar.
Hare Krishna. Yes, like as we said in this 10.1.4, this is a beautiful verse, right? Like it says that it is applicable for everybody. Yes, it is applicable for the muktas, the liberated persons, the nibruta tarser, who are free from all material activities. Because Atma Ramascha Munayo, Nirganthapi urukrame kurbanti ahitukim bhuktim etham bhuta guna hari. When the Atma Ramas, the liberated persons, they would love to hear the beautiful pastimes of the Lord. And not only them, but who are in the process of liberation. They called mumuksis, mumuksus or bhakti ichus or mukti ichus. Those who are desiring to be liberated or desiring, to be in this process of bhakti. When they take it as a medicine. But this medicine is bitter? No, this is sweet. Manobhirama. So even a sense gratification, a non-devotee can also release it. But the difference, we discuss about the non-devotee and the process, the sadhaka or the mumukshus, is that sense gratification people, they really love to hear, yes, Krishna's pastime, oh, acha laga. And then watch a movie, oh, wo bhi bahut acha laga. Watching cricket, wo bhi bahut acha laga. They really smile and they cry, with everything else. Yes, once we just, just for fun, just for entertainment, once you hear Krishna's pastime, that's good, it has some benefit. But the next process, this next process, right, where we go to the, like, at least in the process of liberation, in the process of bhakti ichu, in the process of desiring this, devotional service, what is that? The satatta, nirantarata, the how we can do it for a longer time, how do it for daily nityam bhagavad sevaya. That is the difference. And so we should have the desire, we should have the eagerness, as you said, to hear it regularly. Krishna's pastime, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. For a devotee, without Bhagavatam, without this pastimes of the Lord, or without instruction of the Lord, Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, as you said, the words of Krishna spoken by him, or the narrations of Krishna, about his devotees, they are non-different, and we should be submerged ourselves in these pastimes. And that's how, right, we can feel ourselves that, okay, we are not the non-devotees, or we are not the pasugnat, we are really getting this wonderful opportunity and we are not wasting it, but we are really taking it seriously. That's how all our acharyas, and especially like Sanatan Goswami and Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur and Baladev Vidyabhushan and Vallabhacharya, so many acharyas have given so many commentaries, on this 10th canto. And the more we have time, the more we have energy, the more we have eagerness, we can go more and more deeper. As I said, like, you just 3 words, like the Nibruta Tarsar, Bhavo Usadhat Mano Viramat, they have given pages of commentary on this. Yes. So it's really up to us, and we have to just pray to Srila Prabhupada, how beautifully he has released even this, Krishna book also. In the introduction, he's given around 3 pages, purport to this verse. And this introduction, you can say, like, this is all about eagerness of Parikshit Maharaj, the gratitude of Parikshit Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Anand Prabhu, for that wonderful comment. Okay, Yasant Prabhu, आप कुछ बोलना चाहते हैं?
या हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हाँ।
प्रभु जी, एक क्वेश्चन था, जैसे जो श्री कृष्ण जी के 16,108 रानियां थी, क्या उन सभी के संतानें थी प्रभु जी?
Yes, it is said that, करीबन सबके 10 थे, 16,108 उनके 10 और उनके नाती, उनके पुण्यति, they had a huge family, and Lord Krishna had, palaces for each of the, queens. And एक बार ऐसे नारद मुनि गए थे, द्वारका में, तो देखे कि, भगवान ऐसे नहीं एक ही, पाटरानी के पास थे. He was there in everybody's palace. That's how Lord can do. That's how Lord's inconceivable potencies are there. यशवंत प्रभु अभी सोच रहे हैं, हमको तो एक क्लास अमेला नहीं जाता है. How Lord was taking care of 16,000.
नहीं प्रभु जी, एक्चुअली कहीं पर मतलब पढ़े थे या शायद किसी में देखे थे मूवी वगैरह में, कि जब किसी एक राजा से उसको आजाद करवाते हैं बाकी सभी जो रानियां होती है,
वो कहानी है 10th कांड श्रीमद् भागवतम में, है ना, वो जो एक भौमासुर करके वो जो है ना.
जी जी जी,
तो
वहां पर वो
हम
कहते
सुनेंगे
हैं, मतलब
कैसे 16,100 तो इनको कैसे वो हाउ, लॉर्ड भगवान उनको निकालते हैं वो कारागृह से, है ना. वो हम सुनेंगे, वो विस्तार से हम, है ना, सुनेंगे भगवान उनको उद्धार करते हैं.
थैंक यू. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you very much. I'm really grateful to all of you for your eagerness. So because of your eagerness, we are continuing. Very, very grateful to you. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Bhakta